Welcome to CB's podcast. I'm Steven, and with me as always is Ralph.
Hello.
We're a casual podcast talking about creative things, life, and whatever else we start talking about. So yeah. Today's slightly different because we didn't have a super planned out topic for the day. And I guess we should start by saying sorry we missed last episode 2 weeks ago. Just some life stuff came up. A lot of things working on. I wasn't gonna throw you under the bus.
That's fine.
Yeah,
because I'll tie into some of the stuff I have to say anyways. So
Ralph had a lot going on, and we weren't able to record. And I didn't think it'd be worthwhile to just record on my own. I did try to get my brother on. If for those of you who trailed from previous endeavors with Ralph and I, he was my fill-in for guest podcast, guest as a guest on the podcast. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But he had to go skiing or something stupid.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's just trying to
ski trip in spring.
Pretend like he's doing cool stuff.
Yeah.
He was actually doing cool stuff. So, no, I don't remember if he was actually skiing or if he was just going hiking. He was doing something that day. Yeah. So sorry we missed that. We're back here. I can't guarantee we won't ever miss other podcast episodes, but we're doing our best to do every other week, and we'll keep doing that. So, we will let you know if anything changes, but we're just getting this thing going. So, starting out, Ralph, what's been going on the last month? Now that you have a breath of fresh air a little bit here, how have you been?
Only one thing has been going on for the entire month.
Yeah.
Just work. Now, to explain, really, it's kind of simple. We had at work a big pitch that a lot of stuff needed to be prepared for. Myself and 3 other individuals primarily were working on it, and so it was a mad dash to the finish line, and it took up all my time leading up to it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, you were working hard on that for a month or something.
Pretty much, yeah. A ton of stuff needed to be put together for it. And we didn't really have help. We personally handled the work. The part of it I was responsible for, I did all of it. The part of it the other guys were responsible for, they, also worked on all that stuff. So it was just very hands-on. I haven't gotten the full debrief yet, but I think it went well.
Okay.
So I will probably hear more on that tomorrow, because they've also been traveling, flying to and from the meeting and everything. So I will sit down with the other director from my team tomorrow and probably just get a read on how it went and figure out action items. But
nice. That's
really boring. So... But that's why it was legitimate. It was just so busy for a while.
Yeah, hopefully it ends up being worth the effort. So, man, those crunch times for, was it an RFP? Is that essentially what it was? Like a request for proposal, or is it just you're trying to win more work? Or
it's 3 rebrands. There's a group, a client that we have that's a group of companies.
Okay.
And 3 of those are going over a pretty major overhaul. And so I had one, the other director had another, and then the executive guys from there had pretty much all the rest of the stuff to organize there, plus one of the other brands, basically.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. Well, have you done anything fun in the last month?
That is actually a good question.
You gotta highlight the little. You gotta highlight those little moments,
I know. No, I actually have. I mean, we had Easter happened, right?
Yeah.
So
okay.
Spent a little bit of time with family. That was nice. Uh, we've still been watching like our shows, you know, when
Yeah.
we can during dinner or whatever. Um, and
Have you finished? I wanted to say that I was going to say I almost said Top Chef. No, The Bear.
yeah, we did. But
Okay.
I already went over that last time.
Had you
Um,
finished it last time already?
we finished it last time, and I
Okay.
totally
Okay.
trash talked it. If anybody remembers.
All right. So
Um,
let's not dive into that for every episode that we ever record.
yes, yes. I can explain though. I can explain my outlook on these things. But
Oh, yeah.
no, the show that we did finish though that I briefly mentioned was the show called the Beauty.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you recall, I was really pumped about it. I was like, this is actually, I'm surprised that I'm
Yeah.
liking this as much as I am. It's very fun. And you know, from that point, I was like, it can go one of two ways. It can stay good, which is rare, or it will dive off a cliff and I'll end up hating it.
Mm.
So it was good. It stayed good. It definitely stayed good.
Okay. And is it just one season right now?
It's just one
It's a
season,
new
one and
show,
done.
right?
Easy to binge, man. So easy. We flew
Nice.
through it basically. It
Okay.
was so fun. Now, it wasn't perfect, of course. There are gripes that I have with it, and the biggest asterisk is that there is one episode in particular that is the stupidest episode like ever, and it literally might as well turn to the audience at the beginning of the episode and say, hey, just leave your brain at the door. You're not going to need it for this episode. It's literally that stupid.
Is it one of those episodes
um
that just like jumps off and like here's this whole side story about like
it
some
does
other
do that.
thing?
Yes, it
Okay.
completely diverts from the
Yeah.
primary group of people, and
What?
it just focuses an entire episode on this these two people. Now it does drive the plot for some stuff,
Sure.
but
They
dude,
always do.
yeah, like it has some plot relevance. It does, but
Yeah.
it is. If anybody watches it, you'll know why. I'm not going to get into it
Yeah.
right now, but you'll know what I'm saying. It is the stupidest thing ever. It is
I don't
so brain dead. Holy crap.
I don't understand why shows do that. Like I feel like it's been a recent thing. I feel like Stranger Things did that in like
Oh,
season
I wonder what you're
3.
talking about. Yeah.
The one episode where she goes off with all the other girls. There's this other girl with powers, and like she's in this.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No,
That's the one I was thinking
yes.
of.
Okay, gotcha. I thought you were going to talk about the newest season, which I haven't actually watched, but
No, I haven't
um,
either. I'm just talking about like this like random one-off episode that like has nothing to do with anything else in the plot.
yeah, yeah. It is one of those types of plots.
Severance did
Episodes.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Severance did this where they shot it and directed it like and like someone else kind of did the like direct the episode or produced it, whatever it was. And like it was interesting and like there's some elements of it like that were good, but it was mostly flashbacks. It was like almost entirely
I
a
know.
whole episode of flashbacks, which it's like I don't know, it's interesting and there's elements that like were kind of cool, but like with the whole episode being that, I'm like, okay, that's great, but also like I feel like we took a step back here. Like, okay, I'll just
No, for
keep
real, yeah.
waiting. So
I really don't know I don't understand writers when they do that either. It always blows my mind when I'm like, you have this really interesting thing going on and you're gonna waste time over in this other area. What are you doing?
yeah,
It just doesn't make sense. But but anyways, overall though, it's I thought it was really, really fun and a good time.
gets the
There
Ralph
are
stamp of approval.
Yeah, sure. It's harmless enough. There's definitely some things that I have, you know, gripes about, but as a whole, it was just super fun. There was a worry point though. There was this one thing that happens right towards like the end of the season, and I
Okay,
was like, "Oh, please don't do this. Please, please, please don't do this." But it doesn't go in the direction that I was worried that it was going to go in. So, whew,
okay,
okay, we're okay.
nice.
Uh, so, anyways, we finished it, and I was pretty pleased with it. And then we also started a new show after that, since we finished it so fast. Um, Boardwalk Empire. Have you ever seen that?
Mm, no, I don't.
It's
Is it about like a music label or something?
no.
Am I just is that just called Empire? That might just be called Empire. That's what I'm
That
thinking.
that one might be called Empire. No,
Okay.
Boardwalk Empire is it's got Steve Buscemi, who, is
Mm-hmm.
always interesting.
He's a very interesting person.
And then it's basically we're only 2 episodes in, so there's plenty to still be developed to see like what the cadence of the plot is going to be and what they're really going to focus on. It's establishing a lot, and it's really cool because it's kind of like a period piece, and
Okay.
I think it's basically a mob show, so like
Hmm.
the mafia. Um and it takes place on this like boardwalk area at the
Okay.
beach, and it's just establishing a bunch of characters. And this is what something you were saying earlier about like Stranger Things and diverting into weird areas.
Yeah.
Dude, the formula is simple. Just get good characters in rooms with each other and
Yeah.
have them interact and give each one a motivation, give each
Yeah.
one a personality, give each one something to worry about, and and there you go. It's that simple. It is
That's the entirety
so
of The Office. They're literally most of it is in one room. A bunch of characters.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And make them, you've got to have some of them be likable, some of them be kind of shady, establish stakes, like
Yeah.
especially if it's a mafia related thing, establish high stakes and
Sure.
make the consequences, uh, extreme, and throw some curveballs. Right, I'm a big fan of The Sopranos. I think The Sopranos
Okay.
is one of the greatest shows ever made,
I
and
haven't seen it.
I would say what I always say is there are very few shows that maintain their quality the whole runtime.
Hmm. Okay.
Sopranos is one of the ones that did it. It maintained its insanely high level of quality for the 5 or 6 seasons
Oh well.
that it aired.
Okay.
And it's probably my favorite show as a collective, like as a whole entirety.
Interesting.
It's both me and my wife. It's our favorite show because we watched it
Okay.
together through and through for the first time together, and we loved every second of it, and it became
Yeah.
basically our collective favorite show. Um, but I will say my favorite single season, because you have to kind of shows are hard because
They have different arcs and
they're all
stuff.
different. And it's like you said, they get different directors involved and all sorts of stuff. Different people take over the project at different times, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But my favorite show, I guess I could say, is Sopranos, but my favorite work of TV that has ever been made was easily True Detective season 1.
Man, I've always heard
Easy.
really good things. I just haven't jumped into that.
Man, it's a must see. It's
Okay.
you have to watch it. It's
Yeah.
so good.
And that's like Matthew McConaughey and
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yep. It's so good. Yeah, I love that one. Those are always up there for me. I guess you could say everybody always mentions Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul as well. Game of Thrones for 4 seasons is pretty good.
Season 5 had some good things. I feel like season 5 had the I can't remember people's names. They had the Mandalorian actor. He was like the sand viper guy in the pits where they like were fighting,
The guy
and
who the guy
he's
who
the
goes into the
Mandalorian.
fight and dies
Yeah, but
immediately.
yeah, but he's in
I
there.
hated that.
But like the season, I feel like had some good stuff. Even like
It did, yeah. I mean, yeah.
season 6 had like at least there was one of like crazy epic battle scene where that whole episode was like crazy. So like as a whole, yeah, there's lots of stuff. Season 6, 7
Yeah,
especially was not good, but like
for me, I guess
there were glimmering
what I
moments.
what I mean because you're right, Game of Thrones definitely kept good moments throughout.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying mostly is for 4 seasons, I think it's four. I think it was basically a very, very like fantastic
It's
show.
incredible. Yeah.
Um, when it dropped off for me and never got back to the like where it peaked
Yeah.
essentially for me was the fight with the Night Watchmen versus the Wildlings, I think, where they had the giants
Mm.
storming the wall and they were like trying to
Yeah. Okay.
scale the wall.
Right.
Dude, that's probably the best battle scene I've
Mm.
ever seen in a TV show. It was so ridiculously good. Um, that was where it peaked, and I just felt like
Okay.
it never really reached that again. So I always just say,
Yeah.
watch it up till then, and then if you can stomach all the way through season 8 or something,
If you're that, if there, wait, were there 8 seasons?
I think so. Maybe
I think you're
only 7.
right.
Hold on. How many
I don't remember. I
seasons?
remember the last two they cut so short,
8
and
seasons, yeah.
oh man, okay, so the last three they cut really short then, and they like did all these like big time jumps, like whereas before it was like you're traveling to all across Westeros, it's taking a long time, and then in like season 7 and 8, they're just like boom, we're here, boom, we're here, boom, we're here.
Yeah,
Um,
really got lazy. Plus they ran out of George R. R. Martin material to even work with.
yeah, yeah, still to
Because
this day.
he never writes anything anymore.
Dude, I read the first 5 books because that's all that are out. Uh, 10 years ago was when I finished book 5, and then I remember there being rumors of like, oh, Winds of Winter, book 6 coming out. It's coming out soon. And
Nope,
I've literally been here for 10 years waiting for it. I gave up at some point. I'm like, if it comes out, I'll have to reread them all because there's so much in the books.
I think there's a phenomenon with that because I've seen it with video game studios as well,
Half-Life
where
3.
basically they make their mark on the industry
Mm.
and then they kind of you just don't have to anymore. And
You
I
don't
just
have
think the human
to.
spirit
Yeah.
kind of decides like I don't know. And then when they finally do, maybe the pressure gets to them or like
Hmm. It's a lot of things to tie up, a lot of things to connect.
and they don't know how to drive it home or whatever. And in the case of video game studios, it can be like an entirely new crew of people worked on it. Like the
Yeah.
original studio who made the thing that you love doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And so there's no like it just isn't the same thing anymore. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Uh anyway, so my month.
Yeah.
I've got a couple things that happen and a couple new side quests that I'm on at the moment, which are very fun side quests and I think worth it in the long run. Let's just preface that. It's not Steven jumping off on doing random stuff and a little bit getting distracted, but like, so okay, yeah. So we had spring break. I had some big client meetings that week. My wife got a stomach bug. Um, and I didn't see her for 2 days because she was staying in her guest room in her basement guest room. Um,
Jeez.
and I had to watch the kids for 2 days because they were on spring break, and while also trying to take meetings. And I was supposed to go in office for one of these that I wasn't able to go in obviously for, and so I took that one like remotely. It was crazy. There were so many things I had to do. There was one day where I'm like, I just messaged everyone. I'm like, hey, I can't work today. I can't like I'll monitor messages and respond and answer questions and whatever, but I can't like do any kind of heads down work. And so I took the kids out and did like some fun spring break things. We did like a bike ride, um, like went to like this cool store called Shields, which is this like giant outdoors store, kind of, I guess you'd call it. Where
Okay.
there's literally like a
Like
Ferris.
Cabela's
Kind of. It's
or
more
like out Bass Pro Shop or whatever. I
it's
don't it's
kind of it's those are like only outdoor themed, whereas like Shields is like a mini mall in its own store. There's literally a Ferris wheel in the mall as you walk in. There's like a big Ferris wheel in the middle. And there's 2 floors. It's like sports and sporting goods, and there's a whole section of like it's like yeah, it's like Cabela's and like Dick's Sporting Goods combined or something. There's even like home goods. There's a whole like toy section, a candy store. There's an indoor play place for the kids. There's like mini bowling. There's arcade games. There's hunting gear, stuffed like taxidermy things. Like it's ridiculous.
Cool.
The kids love going. Like it's super fun. There's a lot of things to do there. So we wandered around there for a long time, and got them their first like real Lego sets. They have these like little $5 bags of like mini sets of like regular size Legos, not like the kids' giant ones.
Oh
And one
yeah.
of like my daughter got like this little like Little Mermaid one where it's literally like the mermaid figure and this little like organ with coral on it and flounder, and like that's the thing that she
Okay.
built, and it was awesome.
Is it
And
the
like
classic like the cartoon
mhm,
like it's based off of the classic
OG,
cartoon?
yep, yep,
Nice.
off like
That's
the
cool.
original cartoon stuff. But like this is the first time she did Legos and like had instructions, and she just like looked at the instructions and it's like, oh, this piece here, and just like followed it. I'm like, this is the
Nice.
best moment of my life. uh,
That's great.
yeah, so it's super fun. My son needed a little more help, but even he like started figuring it out on his own, and then they just started taking him apart and like doing it again. And it was so much fun. Uh,
I remember from childhood several sets that I truly loved.
yeah,
Everybody has at least, I mean, most people had like a set that blew them away. The one I remember is Johnny Thunder, who's
okay,
basically just an Indiana Jones knockoff Lego.
sure,
I think that's what it is. Yeah, Johnny Thunder. If you look him up,
okay,
he looks exactly like he's just like an Indiana Jones kind of adventure. So he goes into like,
man,
I don't know, tombs and he hunts
okay.
treasure and they have little treasure Lego sets. It's really cool. Um,
Was this any kind of franchise outside of Lego, or is just like they made this Lego to be like Indiana Jones?
I think they just couldn't get the name Indiana Jones. I'm sure they have it now. I'm sure they bought
Oh,
that
I'm
the
sure.
rights
Yeah,
up
yeah.
by this point. But at the time it was just supposed to be like a stand-in for that type
Dang,
of adventure or
that's
explorer.
that's cool.
And I had some of his sets, and
Okay.
they were sick because they had like traps because you know he's like raiding a tomb or something. Um,
Hmm,
pretty sick, pretty
nice.
sick.
I remember. I okay. So like, I like Star Wars, but I'm not like. It's never been like, oh, I love Star Wars. It's my favorite thing. Um, but I
Which
remember like
Star Wars era is your favorite?
probably the super moderns. Just kidding. Just because I knew you'd get upset about that one.
Yeah.
It's hard
Look, you can
because
answer however you want. I'm not.
I don't know.
I'm
I
good.
don't I don't fully know. I think the one I have like nostalgia with is like episodes 1, 2, 3, because I remember seeing them in theaters,
Right.
and
True.
like the experience was part of it.
Yeah.
And to tag on
Sure.
to that, those Lego sets I had were
Mm.
from there. So I had like that yellow ship that young Anakin flies at the end of episode 1.
Now this
Um
is pod racing.
yeah.
That's the line.
Uh Oh right, no, I forgot he did say that there. Yeah, and then the other one I had was like this little, like almost like it's like these two little pods. So this like red spaceship, and it had like
Okay.
it was one of the I just flew over like in the
The
city.
Cloud City ones.
Yeah, 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 and it was just
Yeah.
like these like two things. Like yeah,
I know that. What a weird design.
yeah.
Very interesting.
And the only I don't even remember like much about it other than like I got it, and I remember building it at my grandma's house, like in New Jersey. Like maybe it was a
Nice.
Christmas gift, and I just remember going upstairs and building it, and like that's like.
Dude, a big Lego set for Christmas, nothing beats that feeling. Those are
It
the
was so fun.
days. Seriously.
I got for my birthday, my parents got me this new Lego set behind me if you're watching on video. And it's a dancing Groot.
I was gonna ask if that was Groot.
Yeah. So it's like from I turn the thing on the back and he like does a little
Nice.
dance with headphones and sunglasses on. It was just like it was a random birthday gift. But I
Cool.
got so excited about it. So that's kind of what sparked me to get little sets for the kids too.
That's a good idea.
Anyway, onto my side quests. So I have still been illustrating on the children's book. Still doing that. A little distractedly, to be honest. It's not been my main focus because I mention anything about video games, making a video game last time?
You yeah, I think so.
I mentioned that I
You
talked to
you
someone.
very briefly, you mentioned
Okay.
some mysterious conversation you had with someone or something.
Yeah, so that's what I've been focusing on. So a friend or the husband of like someone I know at my local coffee shop did game development for several years at this other company, and he's done it for himself outside of that. Um and we were talking about stuff, and I talked about this game idea that I've had for years, that I've worked on this document for a long time, and this concept and the story that's connected to the Foundry board game, which is, I think I mentioned that like the board game stemmed from this original video game idea, but I didn't know how to code, so I'm like, I'll make a board game. Uh, that's kind of how that started. So yeah, that was like when we were talking about inspiration or something. Anyway, I met up with this guy, and we started chatting through some more stuff. And he started we're using Godot. It's a like an open source game engine, kind of like Unity. But anyway, open source, free, all that stuff. And he started like coding the project, and I've been like working on fleshing out the mechanics of the game and some of like the different pieces in it. And he and I have been brainstorming back and forth of like what the game is, how some of these core pieces works, and like boiling it down to like what that MVP would be, that minimum viable product,
Yeah.
to kind of be like, okay, what are like the core systems that need to work for this game to be good and fun. Um, and so we've been working on that. It's been like, I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty consuming of my brain, because it's just something I'm really
Fair
excited
enough.
about.
Yeah.
uh, and I sketched out a concept for the player character already. I sketched out some, like I mocked up some like wireframes of like some of the interface of menus and upgrades and things. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because it's still early stages, and I don't want to like over promise and under deliver anything here. So, um, it's something I'm excited about,
Well,
and it's been a fun project. So
yeah.
it's good to. I think I think it's good to have multiple projects that you're working on. That like when you get in a rut on one project, you can kind of be like refreshed in another one. So like if I'm like, okay, I need to illustrate pages for this book, it gets tiring. It's a lot of like output for that, and
Yeah.
not always super life giving. And like, so if I need to be energized, like world building, ideation, brainstorming, like, I love that stuff. And so it is a good thing to like for me to jump over and like do that side. Now the catch is I need to make sure I don't like just completely go over there and then and not ever finish my book and project, because that could easily happen if I'm like, this is gonna be the main thing I'm working on now. But I'm not doing that because I literally this morning worked on the book, the Maple More Tales books. I was doing some more illustration this morning, so I'm not moving on. Just adding some, a side quest, like I said. uh,
Sure.
and as
Yeah.
part of that, there's a game jam we're doing tomorrow. Starting tomorrow,
Wow. Okay.
over
I
the
mean,
next.
isn't that is it remote or is it a thing you're going to?
It's remote, so it's just like online. It's a Godot Wild Jam, or Godot, or I don't know. People say different things. I don't know how to actually pronounce it. Um, but they like tomorrow afternoon they'll post the theme, and then you have like a week to make a game and submit it. Um, so they do it like monthly. It's not like
Yeah.
they do it every month. So anyway, we're gonna do that as like a trial run to be like, how do we? And okay, for those of you who don't know, a game jam is where you get a theme posted at the beginning of a time frame, and then you have that much time to make a game based on that theme. The idea being like you make everything during that time. So you do the code, you make the art, you do all the stuff to create a game there. Some of them it's fine if you use like assets from other places, or like we're not going to go make custom sound effects for this. Like we're going to pull in free sound effects or something like that, whatever,
Yeah.
for all this, because there's some things where it's like you can't do everything. So there's different parameters of like what level of uh customization you do with that, I guess. So anyway, that'll be fun. Um yeah, tomorrow is Fridays, but I'll be in the midst of it when this goes live. But we're kind of keeping it casual. It's more of like it's I've got a couple goals in this. Like, first one is to see how I work with it, how we work together, like with this guy. Um and with him coding and me doing like art assets and animations. And two, how to like get these assets in the game engine in the right, formats and right sizing, and figure out how to get, how I'm going to work with like hand drawn. I've done pixel art before. I've thrown pixel art animations and sprite sheets and different things in other game engines before, and had some little guy walking around and doing random stuff. So, but this, like, I've never done hand drawn for like games, and I feel like there's more limitations on like file sizing and formatting and all that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like how that's going to work. And so this will be a pretty low risk, I guess, time to try it out. Especially because like halfway through the jam, my parents actually come into town, so I'm probably not going to be like hardcore focusing on it. It'll be like, hey, let's get something done, just as like some experience in how we work together, and then when we do another one in the future, you know, try to do a better game and a bigger game or whatever for like the whole time. So if you're
Yeah.
ever interested
Nice.
in joining one of those, if your life's not crazy whenever that one of those drops,
Yes. Yeah.
I'll let you know when they're happening. If it's something you'd be interested in doing. So, because I know we both love games, and I don't know if
We
doing
do.
art or some of the game design for it could be fun. But
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm trying to work myself into a balanced operation.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, like, video games, of course, are a big interest of mine as well. It might be the industry I know the most about,
yeah.
maybe.
Same.
Are debatably film, but my interest in film has waned. I was big into film. Like, I need to explain this actually. I should explain this because it
Go
really
for it.
has it has seemed. I understand. I've listened back to the uh podcasts of and I understand how deeply negative I come across when we're talking about certain things. Look, it's
Yeah.
it's me. I understand that it's me. The problem is just that with film specifically, I used to have so much belief in it, if that
Hmm.
makes sense. Like it just became this obsession of mine. I was like, "Oh, I love like film critique and
Yeah.
analyzing film and thinking deeper about it and et cetera, et cetera." Um the problem is I've watched the film industry get just steadily worse and worse
Hmm.
for so long that it's just impossible for me to sit back and turn my brain off sometimes because I just see what's happening basically.
Yeah.
And it's really hard not to take that kind of cynical approach. But I genuinely think like this is going to sound crazy, maybe depending on who you are, but I really think that film has become basically the worst form of art there is.
Man.
Just like the absolute lowest tier art form because what they've done, what has happened in the film industry is no artistic integrity survives at all.
Hmm.
None. It is all like focus grouped, corporate, meddling, whatever,
Box
production
office
companies,
returns.
box off. Yeah, yeah. Like test screening scripts get submitted and just like, oh no, it needs to have this, 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 and this. It needs to function in this way. It needs to do. You can just hear the board meeting happening,
Yeah.
and it is so it just like there's no vision that's being realized. It's all just like the same formulas being repeated over and over and over again. Like, I have some similar frustrations with the video game industry, but because video games are such a monumental feat to even get them made at all, it hasn't become quite as tainted as the film industry.
Yeah.
Like, it hasn't become as much of an assembly line style production as the film industry.
I think
So,
it's I was gonna say I think it's a little different because there's for good or ill, like we've mentioned before, there's a lower barrier to entry. So we have a lot more people making games that might have a better creative vision that they can stick with. And so we get some solid indie games out there, and it's not
yeah,
all
and
just the big
India's the
pictures.
one. Yeah, India's the one where people are like, "No, here's the bastion of hope. It's the indies too," which debatably, yes, there are good indie games
Yeah.
that definitely come out that have unique qualities. Um, so, and that's kind of what I mean. Like, literally drawing on a napkin in a restaurant with a crayon has more artistic value than most films that come out. You know what I mean? Because, like, your vision stays pure.
Sure.
Obviously, that's hyperbole, but I think it makes the point that I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
So basically, that's my explanation. I understand how negative I come across, but I can't ignore what
That's
I
okay.
see.
This has been Hot Takes with Ralph, everyone.
I can't ignore it.
No, hey, it's what is the I don't know what the I can't think of the phrase, but it's like the things you the things you love the most can hurt you the most. So
Yeah,
like,
pretty much. Yeah.
yeah,
I used to be a huge nerd about that kind of stuff, but now the things that I nerd out over are mostly like video games. That's kind of
yeah,
where I've pivoted to,
yeah.
like, super caring and like I really want video games to be great, and I think they could be. Um,
We can make
so
great video games.
yeah, or just good art. You could just say like good art.
Right,
So
right.
like our pursuit of making what we're making
Yeah,
and like sticking to our whatever our vision and making the things we want to see. Hey, that's worth it.
yeah. I mean that's been one of the goals of this endeavor with Sea Beasts and in general is like one of our pillars, I guess you can say, of our company is to make quality art, quality whatever we make, quality content. Like if I make a children's book, I'm not just gonna be, you know, throwing those out there. I'm not gonna be, using not putting out AI slop anywhere. Like all this stuff. Like we want to make the way we're trying to stand out is by quality things, and so it's gonna take time for that. And I'm not gonna rehash this. We've talked about it on other things too, but yeah, just making good things.
Yeah.
Other random business things. We officially have our LLC formed for
Yeah.
Sea Beasts LLC. So that came through a couple
Yes.
weeks ago, and then today I just got our official tax numbers, so we can open a bank account.
All right. In
Yeah,
April, no less.
in April. Yep,
Tax
and
month.
just in time for us to not have any real products available. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the whole thing. Like with like the business side of things, there's so much of that I just like don't know. And I'm like, oh, there's stuff about taxes with businesses, and like you got to figure out taxes because it's not just like I've done freelance stuff before. It's not the same when we now have like essentially what's like
That's always just under the table.
working as a partnership. Yeah. But now that we have like a real business and like real stuff, like if we ever, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that. It's not like what we're talking about here, but it's just some daunting things that we're trying to figure out a little bit. So I did meet a guy at the coffee shop I go to locally. He has his own business, and like I was asking about some of this, so I got some resources to talk to and stuff. So that'll be good. Okay, so we talked about what we've been doing. We talked about other random things. What's on the horizon? What's coming next? Is there something you're like looking forward to jumping into? Is there something you want to work on? Do you just want to get your feet under you and see what happens? Like what's your plan? What's your plan going forward? Pretty built out there.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't, literally today was the day that you wrapped up the chaos, so it's okay if you don't have like,
Kind of. No, I mean, like I said, trying to strike a balance, trying to find a balance between, keeping up with my responsibilities
yeah,
and also having time to um pour into my passions. So that's sort of the golden balance I want to strike. I have four compartments, maybe you could say, right? So it would be
okay,
work, which is the biggest compartment, of course. Um,
unfortunately,
has to be. So work, I could just lump family together all into one. So like time for my wife, time for uh my the rest of my family.
yeah.
And then drums would be another.
Hmm.
So,
Okay,
like, obviously, I love playing drums. I have my set back there, if you can
yeah,
see
yeah.
it.
We'll get you to
I
do a little drum solo one of these days.
yeah, that would sound so insane in this
Yeah,
room with this mic.
from
I
this
wonder.
across the room on the mic. Yeah,
Yeah, and just
super
be
high quality.
an assault on the ears.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, but no, that's one that I don't really talk about it on this podcast because it's just not relevant to anything, but it is a big passion of mine. I really do care. I
did you
think
talk
it's
about it on your other podcast?
no.
The
Uh,
way you said that, you're like, I don't talk about this podcast.
I
It
know.
just made it sound
I
like you're cheating on me with another podcast
right.
here.
No other podcasts. I can't. I clearly don't have the time. So, but it is a big part of my life. I really do care about it. And I think it's
It's
one of
another
my
creative pursuit too. Like it's another creative thing. So
yeah.
it's
Music is
relevant,
it can be creative for sure, but then of course the other one would be the stuff we're doing, right? The
yeah,
creative stuff in this area, the visually creative stuff that isn't related to a job. So,
yeah.
um, those would be, I'm trying to find a balance, a good, healthy balance between all those things. Um,
You know what we should do? Just quit our jobs.
mm,
We'd have way more time to work on what we wanted to.
you're right.
No repercussions. Just
No, just follow your
just
dreams.
just just joy
Just joy.
and
Yeah.
living on the street. But
It's funny. I heard a take similar to that recently because if you spend any time
hold on,
on
to
the
clarify, I was being sarcastic.
no,
So
I know, I
no one
know.
go do that. But
No, it's awful advice, it really is. Not that you were giving it seriously, but
right,
literally I heard a take like this the other day because if you spend any time on the internet these days, you will hear people complaining about their situation. And it is valid. Things are rough for a lot of people, of
yeah,
course.
yeah,
It's very difficult and some people don't have a lot of options. And so, I just heard people saying stuff like you might as well follow your dreams because N you know, the point the guy was making was, like, because getting, like, a career is
hmm
you're dead anyways, if
God,
that makes sense, like, you're just kind of, s screwed because everybody hates their career is kind of the angle he was going at
uh,
it from, right? And I understand the sentiment.
yeah,
I'm not even gonna knock it, but the problem comes in if you're not just a bachelor dude single with nothing to lose.
right,
The problem comes in where if you have like a wife or kids, you can't just follow your dream because when you fail, you're not the only one who's going to
you're
suffer,
affecting
right?
other
So
people.
you're
Yeah,
affecting other people. So I understand the sentiment. I totally understand what he's saying, but I still think it's terrible advice. And I actually think it's terrible advice even if you are just single because
yeah,
when you fail, and a ton of people would, statistically speaking, most people will fail at that pursuit.
yeah.
That's just, I mean, what do you do after that? Okay, you
You
failed
go
at your
live
dream
with your
now.
parents.
So
Just go back.
that's just all around awful advice from a
Yeah,
very out
no,
of
it is.
touch kind of,
I
anyways.
think, yeah, find a way to pursue your dreams, but don't give up everything else in that pursuit unless
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I think most people just need something to do that
Yeah.
matters to them,
Yeah.
something that they feel like is working towards something that they care about. And that could be as simple as like, well, I'm able to work so that I can buy this nice thing for my house and like improve my life
Yeah.
in these ways. And like, oh, I can work and provide for my family and I can do this or that. Most people, it comes down to a simple equation.
There has been an unfortunate thing I've been finding with people our age and our stages of careers
Huh?
is a lot of my friends just don't have time for anything.
Like me?
And it's not just you. Like my
It
friend
is like me.
like Jesse, my brother's been doing other like fun stuff, but he works a lot. And it's like people's jobs, I feel like at a certain stage, like us in like our mid 30s and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just like that stage of life and we're moving into bigger careers. Maybe you could start that sooner too, but it's just this weird thing of like it just feels like careers just start taking up more and more of your time and your job just becomes
Yeah.
such a focus. Like and like so many of my friends that like I guess I'm lucky that my job I can just kind of like do it and then leave. I got like a good situation there. But
That is a good situation.
yeah,
Increasingly rare.
yeah, but like I'm realizing that like the more of my friends in different positions who like have moved up and they're in like higher level positions or whatever it is and like their roles are just so much more consuming of their life and their free time and I'm just like, man, it, it's kind of depressing. So
It is a problem. I'm not gonna go full schizo
yeah.
because I certainly have opinions on this,
Yeah.
but I think, probably the stage of life could have something to do with it. Um, but I think it's just the nature of corporatism. Um, if you spend time in corporatism, you end up here, where basically the level of effort far outweighs the like return on investment, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it's but you're also dependent on it. And the economy comes into play too, because it's not like you have a million options on your hands. Because it used to
Yeah.
be like
No, for sure.
if you're a person of talent in a high up ish position, even if you're like middle level or something,
Yeah.
you could just hop jobs if things got bad enough. You could just do it. You should just brush up your resume and hop to whatever the better option for you is. Now, basically, everyone is a slave to their job because the economy is bad, everything's expensive,
Job
and
market
you have no
sucks.
time, and the job market is the worst thing ever.
It's been rough
So,
for
like,
years now.
so
Couple
you're
years.
totally boned. Like, you just kind of have to deal with it because you're like,
Yeah.
well, things could be worse. I could be that guy in the car making the YouTube video about how I literally can't find a job and there's no good reason for it because I can do stuff. I I am qualified, but I'm just going to get like an AI response or I'm going to
Yeah.
get no response and I'm never going to speak to a human being. So I think plus the industry we're in, which is digitally based. If you're
Yeah.
in a digitally based, things are different if you work in tangible goods or something like that. But um, yeah, there's jobs become very difficult,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, for sure.
very time consuming.
Anyway, let's get off that that subject. Let's end on a more positive note. I know I don't want to just be doom and gloom over here.
This has been a very interesting episode.
I mean, I knew it would be going into it without any real structure. Not
The
that we
thing,
usually have much
yeah,
structure, but
those types of things though, they stimulate my brain
sure.
because I'm like, yeah, and the reason, well, there's a million reasons, and it's very complicated. So I'm like, it's so easy for me to rabbit trail.
That's okay. That's what
Pro-
this is a trail. This is a podcast about whatever we talk about. That's a good thing about being in charge. We can do what we want.
That's right.
And there's nothing on the line because, yep. Anyway, The last thing I wanted to say, kind of my the things I'm moving forward. Well, first of all, I got that game jam tomorrow. I already talked about that starting tomorrow, so that'll be a good like art intensive, I guess, for me, like cranking out stuff and not trying to polish it to death, which I think will be good. And then once that game jam is done and my parents are gone, I'm gonna dive back into. I mean, I'm still doing stuff for Wally and Maple More Tales book, so that's kind of my focus. I'm like doing this game jam, and then I'll go back to like trying to hardcore focus on illustrations for the book.
Okay.
Um, but with that, I have a hard time staying with it always. Like I do like a page, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta start a new page, and then I don't know where to start, and then it just doesn't happen. Um, and so I'm trying to set up better like routines in my life, and like I got this little like timer that I can set to different like increments to be like, okay, I'm just gonna work on it for like 15 minutes or like 25 minutes, and then I can Pomodoro timer or something. It's like a whole thing. I don't know all about it. I just have this little timer in it. That's what I'm gonna try. So I can, if I like am more intentional about like scheduling these things, and if I look at my calendar and like schedule time to work on drawing and stuff, I think I'll have a lot better. If I know like that's coming and I'm like, hey, I'm going to draw at that time. I'm more likely to do it because right now I have some time in the mornings occasionally and like other random times. But like I find like the times I work on it are not good times in my life to work on it because like if my kids are around or whatever, I'm getting pulled in a bunch of different directions. And so I'll get into it and draw a couple lines and then I'm like, hey dad. And I'm like, God, I can never like get into a groove to start doing anything.
Yeah,
So
I
I find that
understand.
my issue is just being pulled away from it. Like I start it and then
Sure.
have to start and stop constantly. So
Yep.
I think I need what I need to do is like plan out some evenings in my life to just do that because otherwise, like I spend the evenings like watching shows with my wife most of the time. Sometimes I play video games. Sometimes you know, that's about it. Watching shows or playing video games. Um, and so I think I can like put video games off, especially if I'm playing with friends, it's one thing, but there's times where like no one else is on and I'll still just go game, which like is still good and it's still fun. But I'm finding like, but I also really want to accomplish this, and that would be prime time to be able to work on this. So I just need to
Yeah.
work on discipline and all that. So fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. The brain does need rest sometimes to
I
recharge.
I have a problem with that. So I mean, rather than anything, I've been going to like a therapist recently, and um, just like
Really?
yeah, uh, for like only like about a month now,
I had no
maybe
idea.
maybe a little bit more than a month, but um, yeah, just like some things I'm trying to work on and like improve my like improve myself and the way I respond to certain things and whatever. Just trying to like get work on a couple like nothing major. Some things I'm just trying to work on, and I think it's been really helpful just like talking at someone for an hour.
Of the two of us,
Yeah.
it is insane that you're the one going to a therapist and not I that is actually shocking to me. I'm blown away. But yeah, okay. All right.
It's been good. I'd recommend it. It's just helping me kind of. The thing I learned last week is that I don't ever rest. My brain is always occupied with something, and I'm
Well, that's kind of
always
that's what reminded you, or that's what brought
yeah,
this to
yeah,
your
yeah,
brain. Yeah,
yeah. Because
that's what I
I
said there.
don't like. I'm always consuming something. If I'm like going on a run or working out, I'm listening to music or podcast or audiobook. If I'm driving the car, I've got like podcasts or audiobook going. If
Okay.
I'm at home, like I'm always watching something or doing something or thinking about something or
You're
researching
talking
something.
about, yeah,
I don't
okay.
ever let my brain just like be. I'm always like stimulating my brain in some way. Um,
I'm
there's different
trying to
kinds of
think of the
rest.
term. I'm trying to think of the term for this. It's more like avoiding a quiet time to be alone with your thoughts,
Yeah,
right?
no, that's it.
You're always looking to kind of be in a halfway escapism style state of mind where you're focused on something aside from your own inner monologue, something like that. I don't remember
Yeah,
what the phrasing is, but that's kind of the idea behind it. It's pretty common, from what I understand.
yeah, especially with like phones and like just the easy access to always have stuff going.
Yes. It's
Yeah,
going to become more and more obvious, this
yeah,
problem, as we watch the next generation
yeah,
uh, grow up.
yeah.
Believe me.
Anyway, I think we're about out of time, but just wanted to. You mentioned like getting that time to rest, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I
yeah. Well,
I can
yeah.
rest, but I don't like. I'm always thinking of something, working on something in my brain. Um, Even like I just on a couple of my drives this week, I like purposefully didn't have anything playing, and it was an interesting sensation of just like letting my mind wander.
Mm.
um, but I think it's good.
That
So
is, yeah. I'm sure that's interesting. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, that's all the time we got for this episode. Thanks again for hanging out and listening to us just ramble on for an hour. I had a
This
good
is the most
time.
intriguing episode.
I don't even know what to name this
Yeah,
episode. The
what do
other
you
ones
name
like
this?
the other ones I had like names because like, oh, we have a topic going in. This one I'm just like, we'll just have to see. And we'll find out. But
Yeah.
yeah, thanks again for being here. I don't really have any closing things. I don't know. You can
Thank you
find
guys. Yeah, for sure. We will get
yeah.
back on a regular schedule. Should be getting back on a
Hey, we should be good
regular
now.
bi-weekly
Yeah.
schedule now.
And I think that'll help me too, honestly. Help me stay motivated and working on stuff because this is kind of like an accountability check, and what things I'm trying to accomplish. So,
Right.
um,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't have any action items. Everyone's always like, "Oh, like and subscribe and buy our stuff," but we don't have anything. So, I will say there's a couple of us been chatting on our Discord channel. So if you'd like to join conversations about board game design, couple of guys in there, or just creative projects, I posted a couple
Hmm.
screenshots from the book that I'm working on. If you want to come and chat, ask us questions, hang out, whatever, you can find a link to Discord at our website, which is seabeasts.com. SEE Beasts.
Oh, we do have some chats in here.
Dude, Evan and Forehead somebody and I have been chatting a decent amount. It's been good.
Yay, new fans.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Welcome.
that's it. Thanks again for being here. We'll see you all next time.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.